Will there be a case without a face? Stay tuned. God bless you this morning. Thank you for joining me on Morning Nuggets on this Thursday morning. This is yours truly, Pastor Nate. And as always, it is my absolute pleasure when I can come and speak with you. Friend, there's a lot of speculation out there. People are saying we can't have a case because the alleged victims are anonymous. They cannot be a case without a face. So I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. And I want to talk about that a little bit. We understand that 3 alleged victims or survivors or accusers have already come forth and told their story regarding the alleged situation. Notice I said alleged. They were anonymous. I'm sure these alleged victims or survivors, they have families and children, they have jobs, they have reputations, some of them say they have churches, and they don't want to put their livelihood in jeopardy, so they decide to remain anonymous. That is their choice. That's their decision. But the question is, if court were to materialize, if this turns into a court case, can these alleged victims remain anonymous? Ooh, now we understand there's a lawsuit between Larry Reed and the cigar vlogger. Now that's different from this, but in that defamation lawsuit, can something else come out of this? The cigar vlogger seemed to be very confident and is okay with him being served with that lawsuit, because to me, he basically implied, if you take me to court, it's going to lead to something else. It's going to lead to other things being exposed and unveiled. Could it possibly lead to these alleged victims coming forth and creating another court case? Are these victims, are they willing to testify in court? Will they testify? Do they have an option? And if they do decide to testify, can they remain anonymous? Now, I did a little research, and according to my research, when a victim is called to the stand or to testify, more than likely they're not able to be disguised or remain anonymous. And that's from a federal case. I'm assuming the state case may, or the lower courts may apply the same logic. I'm not sure. If you know it, leave it in the comment section of the video. However, a victim or a witness can remain anonymous if the defendant is in another room. They can come in if they don't want to face the defendant. The alleged victims can come in and testify while the defendant is in another room. Or it's up to the counsel as to whether they want to call the alleged victims to the stand or not. But if they do come to the stand, it's my understanding that they cannot remain anonymous. So you guys let me know what you think. Now here's another option, and I always go to this option. Let's do mediation as opposed to going to court. A lot of times people think they're right, and they have pride and their arrogance, and they, bullheaded, like, no, I know I'm right. We're going to court. We're going to take this to court. They're confident that they're going to win. But again, if you don't know the opponent's what they have, they may have more stuff to ruin your credibility. It might be better to go through mediation. I would assume mediation is less painful, less stressful, and less expensive, right? That's when the parties, the interested parties, get together with the defendant and they talk through it and they talk it out. And in many cases, you get resolution from that aspect. Now, it may not be as public, and I don't know if the public would know the results after that. And of course, the alleged perpetrator would have to admit, I guess, that they committed that act. If they decide to go to mediation, that means I was wrong, I'm guilty, let me go ahead and talk this out with the victims so we can get to some type of resolution, whether it's money, whether I apologize and say I'm sorry. What can we do to fix that? That's what mediation is. Of course, they have a mediator there. I don't know if I'm sure an officer will probably stand in the room or maybe outside to make sure nothing gets out of hand. But I'd rather go that route than to go to court. Of course, it's more of a private setting, but we don't need to know anyway, right? Long as you straighten it out, long as you fix it and you guys agree to resolve, it can be between the alleged victim and the alleged perpetrator. The whole world doesn't have to know. It just leaves it open to speculation. Public opinion can make you guilty too, but that's not official. It doesn't matter what people say. It kind of does a little bit if you're in business. From a legal standpoint, the only thing that matters is what the court decides. Now, Jesus also recommended something like a mediation. You guys know I wouldn't be Pastor Nate if I wouldn't attach a scripture to the situation. Luke 12:58 through 59 tells us, basically, I'm paraphrasing, Jesus said, look, when you go, if you decide to go to court, or before you go to court rather, go ahead and work it out. Sit down and try to straighten it out, because court is worse. They will turn you over to the officers and you will remain in prison until reconciliation has taken place. So Jesus also encouraged mediation. Friend, tell me what you think. I don't know. Again, I'm not an attorney. I'm not a paralegal. If you're getting value from these videos, please go ahead and subscribe, like, and share. More of these videos and these exhortations will come. I appreciate your support. In the meantime, in between time, be at peace and not in pieces. Till next time, my friend.